All right. Good morning. Good morning. We are live. Double check. Bang, bang. Safe, sound, asleep. Guten Tag, Guten Tag. That is German. The German for good morning. Fun fact, actually. I got some German in my blood. Wipe this camera down. My grandpapa, Sir Hans Heckman, is from German descent. He born and raised in Germany, not by choice, but he was a part of the German army, aka the Nazi army, back during the World War II. And then the Americans captured him. He was a prisoner of war and went through a really difficult time and ended up becoming an ally for the U.S. Army. I believe he did a lot of tech work and also obviously fought in the war. Got shot like 3 times. And then he met my grandmother, who was a nurse helping the U.S., Italian nurse. So I'm assuming Italy was an ally. And that's how they met. And eventually they made their way into the States. So fun short story there, huh? So I got a little European in my blood, not just the Puerto Rican islands. But check it out. We got Mr. Pumpkin. If you guys see the AI, I'm trying to get creative with AI here, getting Marco's pumpkin patch together. So we'll see. I asked AI for a diverse crew of teaching people how to carve pumpkins, Coach Marco. I don't know why AI just keeps thinking every time it's diverse, they got to have brothers and sisters in there. I'm like, whole diverse. I want black, white, yellow, brown, you name it. So I don't know. I think AI is discriminating a little bit, if that's just my personal take here. So anyway, had a good morning, good weekend. Did not go to any concerts this weekend, but it is Red October, and I'm much more of a Phillies fan than an Eagles fan for sure. Yes, I do ride for the Eagles. I do like football and all sorts, and I like all teams, even though I am a Chiefs fan. But the Phillies are near and dear to my heart. Growing up, being a avid baseball player at first as my first sport of love, and being a Philly fanatic. I should probably pop this up here at some point. But another fun fact. I am one of those very few people that that have gone to a Phillies game and actually caught a ball. So circa 2004, I don't know, what was it called back? God, I'm so bad with this, right? The vet, David Bell hits a fly ball up in. I had the suites then. I would go to the suites because my mom working at UPS used to get a good hookup. So young Marco, I'm going to pull that up at some point here to show you guys because I got a video of it and it's quite a good memory. So anywho, any other memories do I have here? I don't think so. But we're going to get to nitty gritty, guys. So MFP, we got a lot of fun things coming up. You should have got your members email. So let's dive deep into the newsletter. Okay. Blink, it's October. Oh, Coach Joe. Blink, that's definitely Coach Joe right there. Blink, it's October. But yeah, definitely October being my favorite month of the year. Obviously, we have the Phillies Red October, especially if you're a Phillies fan. Just a fun month with Halloween season. My wife and I, we're definitely part of the spooky crew. We are definitely Halloween advocates in terms of our flow and how we celebrate. And we used to have a Halloween party back in the day, but R.I.P. to that, hey? And it's my birthday month. You got to guess and figure out when it is. I'm sure if you go on Wodify, it'll probably tell you. So Anyway, cool things coming up here. I decided that as we're getting into rhythm with the fall and the workouts, my main idea was to have like a 1 day in-house event that we've done in the past, but I want to do something a little different. I wanted to find a way to get people together as a team and partner and get people out of their comfort zone. And more importantly, try to get people accountable to showing up more, whether if that's just yourself or with a partner throughout this whole month, and to have something to look forward to at the end of the month. So we'll talk about the Just Show Up Cup. But this photo right here, I kind of talked about this a little bit last week too, just this whole idea of like persevere through common ground. Gave me an idea for the upcoming podcast this week with Coach Joe. So you will definitely see something coming up here as we build up in this month. Anywho, Just Show Up Cup. So what the heck is this event? We're just going to keep it super simple, super easy to follow through with. The first thing, it's going to be that whole week. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, our main workouts to be programmed as partner workouts. So the whole idea with that is, one, can you have the schedule, accountability, and flexibility to attend all those classes, those workouts through the week with a partner? That would be ideal, right? And again, that's going to be difficult. So maybe you can do maybe 2 or 3 out of the workouts. That's totally fine, right? It's not like you guys are actually signing up, paying money for this. It's just simply a 1-week event at the gym just to create, a little bit more extra accountability for you guys to show up, do the classes, do the workouts together, and more importantly, bring people together and have some fun. Now, if you are like totally committed with a partner, you guys can write your name up on the whiteboard. You guys will see when you guys attend classes, they'll be there. If you want to, you can have a scoring system here with your partner when you guys record your workouts. And just like any other workout, I'm going to program them well ahead of time. I'll probably even announce them within the next week or two, just so you guys get an idea. And so how you might want to scale these and how you might want to build these up. So the next steps are really simple, guys. Just like get used to getting out of your comfort zone, maybe talking to somebody. I said this to my 615 class today. I said, look, I know it's been maybe anywhere between the range of like 8 to 30 years since you last asked somebody on a date. So let's practice it now, right? I know a lot of you are probably super rusty. Ask a gym member out on a date for a week. Again, you don't have to attend all the classes together. No problemo, right? Maybe you just do a few of them. And I know that Saturday, the 8th, we have a handful of members doing the DECA comp in Philly, which is actually super cool. So some people might only do like 3 or 4 that are doing it. That's totally fine as well. It's simply just a week of making friendship possible, having some fun. And again, this whole idea of accountability is big for me. I think it's easy to sometimes find a lull in, sometimes showing up during the fall, and especially as we get towards like the winter and the change of the seasons. Obviously have a change in energy and, maybe your mindset. So just using maybe this whole month of October to like really get after it, really get into a consistent routine and build yourself up for this 1 week for the Just Show Up Cup. So 1 week, 2 partners, 5 workouts. We're going to have a good time. And I like this Coach's Corner here because it just relates to a lot of what we're doing at the gym in terms of the program, especially within this past few months. So, again, it's this idea of moving fast. And I don't want you guys, and we'll talk a little bit more with Coach Joe on the podcast this week about like this addiction to intensity. We want to think about intensity as relative. It doesn't necessarily have to correlate to you having, the sweatiest workout or your heart beating out of your chest or going to complete fatigue. Even though we will feel that from time to time, depending on what the stimulus and what the goal is for that workout in the week and how things are balancing themselves out. But it is important to teach yourself this idea of moving quickly. and urgently, and having that just general skill and capacity to do that. So, yes, you might go hard and fast, but that doesn't necessarily have to equate to you being completely drained by the end of the workout, even though you are going to feel that for some times. Like, again, today, our intervals were 4 minutes, 3 minutes on, 130 off. Again, the movement selection isn't going to create a super intense workout, more muscular fatigue. Yeah, you are going to be breathing. You are going to feel a little spent by the end of the 4 rounds. But again, the key thing was like your transitions, moving quickly, moving fastly, moving fast, and moving, most importantly, efficiently. Because when we talk about movement efficiency, and that's been a really, 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 really big thing I'm trying to get through to people, movement efficiency really just comes down like the mechanics of your movement. And so to be able to have good movement efficiency, we have to have good mobility, range of motion. So the more people are efficient and mobile in a squat, the more quickly you are going to be able to have a good cycle rate of your squatting, whether if it's hanging or pulling. Those who move well move the most efficient, and that means they're saving energy to be able to do more work. So that's just something to think about as we're moving along through this. And again, this is just a nice little breakdown of the metabolic pathways and things that we're developing, like we're developing short, medium, long. And so, yeah, just kind of keep those things in mind as, the fall program is developing, and as we move forward towards the winter when things start to shift. And especially as we start shifting towards the open. Definitely recommend you guys listen to the podcast from last week with Mr. Brendan Vaughn, King of the Dark Place. So it was just a really great way to get some perspective from Brendan, because he does have a good mindset when it comes to this idea of when things are challenging. When things challenge you, it's an opportunity for you to expand your frame of reference, right? And so we talk a lot about this during the podcast when it comes to CrossFit being a great tool for your mental capacity of what you do outside of the gym. We just had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the blind rankings, and I'll post some teasers on social media of what we were talking about in our top 5 CrossFit comedies. So really good one. Again, just continue to like and subscribe. If you're watching the show now or you're watching it later, just make sure you guys are checking in on the channel so you get notified when we have our episodes, because our next one will be on Thursday. You'll see these posters up at the gym for Box Ladies Circle. That'll be, I believe that's this weekend. So make sure you guys contact her if you want to hop in. Again, ladies only. Coach Trey, sorry, brother. But I know we need it too, but ain't for us. All right. Stay on top of the nutrition tip of the week. Fall season. I actually I started off my Sunday with a little grocery shopping. Actually, I got a crazy good Sunday routine with my recovery. I do my yoga. I get my sauna. I get my cold plunge. Get up, get going, go to Trader Joe's. You guys know I talked about on the podcast about farmer carrying all my groceries. I decided to get a handful of different fall vegetables for a little vegetable medley. I got beets, rainbow carrots, squash, Japanese sweet potatoes, and I think that's it. Yeah, cut them all up, skinned them, put them in the oven, baked them up. I got a handful of veggies for this week. I'm feeling good about myself. I gotta walk the walk, y'all. So hey, listen, right here, tip of the week. I'm taking my tips in nutrition. Do a little Cossack, make a little love, get down an MFP. Hey, get down an MFP. Actually, really, the funniest part about this photo. Oh, poor Connor. If you see Katie right here making the heart, you see this guy in the background, hands in the pockets. This is Connor, and we all love Connor Joseph O'Callahan. But I told Joe he's got to crop this photo because Connor's he's got bright red cheeks. This is after the workout, obviously, doing the skill work. And Connor's got these bright red cheeks, and he's just staring. And he's got he's got a Connor stare to him that's quite amusing. So, yeah, you got to, don't put Connor on the spot like that, bro. We love Connor, all right? All right, so that's our newsletter, okay? Some fun things to look forward to. got to troll a little bit. I want to start off with this. So if anyone, well, probably most of you guys have no idea who Coach Adrian Conway is. I like to say if he looks like a hybrid of myself and Coach Trey in terms of physical stature and just general looks. But he is an iconic figure within the CrossFit space. One, going back to the early days with team competition. They were called Wasatch CrossFit back in the day. He was both a team CrossFit Games champion, and he's competed individually at the CrossFit Games for years. But that's just his own physical journey with CrossFit. He's also been a red shirt. If you don't know what a red shirt is, those are level 1 and 2 seminar teachers. So he's been involved deep within the CrossFit affiliates and community. He's owned an affiliate before, and now he's more so known to be one of the announcers for the CrossFit community at the CrossFit Games, and then just really a lot of CrossFit competitions that are out there to begin with. And so he is well known. He is super knowledgeable. I relate a lot to him because we both have a background within other modalities or methodologies that aren't just the CrossFit methodology. So a lot of strength and conditioning, mindsets and perspectives, a lot of different ways when it comes to training. For example, we do a lot of variations in plyometrics, a lot of unilateral stuff, a lot of different variations of tempo training. And he is very knowledgeable and promotes a lot of that on top of what CrossFit does. So anyway, he's a definitely iconic figure, one of my favorite individuals in the CrossFit space. And he just put something out that I figured would be a good segue into a lot of things actually we've been talking about on the Just Show Up podcast, which is this idea of like CrossFit as a standard. CrossFit sets this whole notion of routine is the enemy. And really this whole idea of like why CrossFit over everything else when done the way it was meant to be. And like this embodies what we've been talking about, like how CrossFit truly set this high standard of one, defining fitness and what fitness is throughout the 10 components, the Hopper model, the metabolic pathways, the specializing and not specializing. And so, yeah, CrossFit isn't a fad. It's the original high-intensity functional training program built in 2001 and ever proven since. The Orange Theories, the F45, the boot camps, good sweat, but they're watered-down copies. No real strength progressions, little skill development, limited variance. Again, like I just said, we work the 10 skills. It means you're not just burning calories. We are building a complete fitness for sport, mission, and life. And I'll talk about later in this week about this CrossFit addiction. Like, we're not focused on the calories in, calories out, burning calories, heart rate monitors, all the gimmicky stuff, right? We focus on the factors that truly play a relationship to your fitness and improving fitness. Even though those things do have a place, that's not what we're chasing every single time we come into the gym. So we're still learning how to optimize 60-minute window for a diverse population long term, but we're still improving. This is the care to quantify and experiment. When done right, no group fitness model comes close, and it's so fucking true. It's like, and again, I'm not here to be the guy that poo-poos down on other group fitness models. Like, again, doing something is better than nothing, but they don't diversify your potential, your capacity as a physical human being. And again, that may just be what you want. You might want to go in and sweat in a hot room on a treadmill and do things that don't have a movement standard, and you're doing half reps and all these things that aren't going to necessarily give you tangible metrics, but they might change your body composition. They might make you feel good and get those endorphins going when you leave the gym and feel good about yourself, right? And that's okay. But that's not what we preach at CrossFit. And so just to make those things clear. So a few things he just kind of looked at with this whole idea with this post is just to really be transparent, fitness that transfers. CrossFit develops broad, general, and inclusive fitness. That means ready for a game, mission, and life. And this whole idea of like inclusiveness, right? Like we had a newbie that came in today, the 5 a.m. She was great. Her name was Allie. No fitness experience, but obviously she does tennis and she moves, but she's intimidated, right? She's like, oh, wow, these people can do a lot of things, right? I say we're the fittest humans in Haverford Township, but the way we ended her class today was she's like, I feel challenged but not discouraged, right? You're going to understand that what we do, because of the diverse things that we do when we're in CrossFit, you are going to be challenged. It's going to be hard, right? But that's the beauty of it. That's how you can be humbled and see that potential in you. So, but we don't want you to be completely trashed and discouraged, like I just talked about with intensity in the newsletter. Like, intensity is that thing that we want to work on so that we were getting adaptation, and it doesn't have to correlate to, again, those things I was talking about earlier. So, again, just really important to think about that. Yeah, this whole idea of like these watered down copies of fitness really just, nothing compares. And I've said that all the way from day one. And I knew quickly when I stepped into my first CrossFit class that this was it. And before I continue to keep going to my next topic here, it's like, I don't want to be also the one that puts CrossFit on the highest pedestal of all things. Like, yes, I'm very biased. I do think there's room to integrate other forms of methodologies into movement and fitness in addition to CrossFit, because I feel like CrossFit does have the highest standard, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't find a place for other training modalities, which again, we do at MFP. Like, I'll throw in a lot of non-traditional workouts or movements or stimuluses that, differ from like what we've been seeing right now with the fall program. They have a place and they have very specific intentions when I'll throw those in there. So just keep that stuff in mind. Also highly recommend, if you do social media, to follow CrossFit's Instagram. They've been doing a really good job of just putting things out there that really just show what this community is all about. And again, like just this whole standard that Adrian Conway was just talking about, like you don't see posts like this and other fitness methodologies like this. This whole Diana Jordan, who just competed at the Adapted CrossFit Games, one of her stories fucking so inspirational and so amazing. She was basically attacked by her ex-husband, shot a bullet into her femoral artery. 30 operations within the first 6 weeks after her attack, leading to the amputation of her left leg at the hip joint. Jordan spent the next 4 months in the hospital fighting for her life. When she returned home, she was just 74 pounds. This road to recovery took years, and basically she found CrossFit as, like many of us, as her tool to find some purpose in her life, to give her something to look forward to that allows you to regain independence in your physical body, because we really need that, right? I mean, you can go the spiritual path and first and say, hey, like, God has done this to me for a reason, which I've gone through myself with my challenges, but we need to still come back to the physical thing that's going to ground us within the human experience of what our soul chooses to be. So that's part of her soul's journey. Her soul probably wanted her to go through this experience, but also realize that she has a story that's going to inspire people and bring people to hopefully the ground level that she has attained for herself. And so just seeing her like crush it at the Adaptive CrossFit Games, just seeing this video here, like she's doing a fucking handstand and just kicking ass, like burpee box jump overs on one leg. And that, guys, remember when I've done, you'll see it again, we've done single leg burpees before, and I guarantee some of you motherfuckers are like, wow, Coach Marco, why are you making us do single leg burpees? This is stupid. One, there's variance and there's specific skill transfer that I want you guys to work on, but I'm hesitant to put it into this context of like, motherfuckers, there are some people out there that don't have the privilege of having two legs. And so, yes, we want to enjoy our life of two legs by using both of them. But sometimes you can gain a little perspective in your life with just using one leg. And so, yeah, we did RFE split squats today, right? Unilateral. Kind of get the idea, right? But the single leg burpee anyway. Thought that was cool. If you want to just see more details of the Just Show Up Cup, I put a post here just going through these. So thank you, Canva. And then this post right here just kind of ties in everything I was just talking about, right? I made this little Canva post here. You got Adrian. Shout out to Adrian, crushing it, by the way. Coming to 615 class. Still new. Still in the very beginning phases of your CrossFit journey, but consistency, scaling, modifying, showing up, seeing those initial 3 to 6 months of your progress can definitely be addicting. And I'll talk about just having the right mindset, because, you're going to see these, especially if you're a newbie and you're just starting fresh, you're going to see so many, initial components of progress. And that's great, right? Especially if you're coming and consistent and doing the right things, but you got to be smart, because, that first 1 to 2 years, things really start to click. You will have plateaus and phases where, getting PRs are more difficult. So it's just having the right mindset. Really always look forward to being humbled. And that's why I say our methodology works, right? We set the standard for achieving a wide range of capacity across all skills. But with the right mindset, you become humbled, and then you realize you can reach new heights. And that doesn't always transfer to a lot of people. When you get humbled and you get challenged and you maybe feel slightly discouraged, I said a new member today, she didn't feel discouraged, but she definitely was humbled enough to the point where this could be really good for me. If I just keep trying, I keep building, I keep progressing, this could be something that could benefit me long term. And I just got to keep sticking with it. So anyway, and I like the song attached to this. Let me see if I can pull up the song here. I don't know why my volume ain't working here. It's that song. It's no broke boys, no new friends. Come on, IG. This computer don't like me today. Oh well. Oh, Gucci. You can listen for yourself. And just lastly, shout out to the group. I want to make sure some of you guys are aware that I guess we do have this DECA comp coming up. Tara's been posting it on the Facebook group. So if you guys aren't a part of the Facebook group, get in there. I post a lot of stuff. But yeah, right here. You guys got a link. I think we have 10, 12 people already signed up. So that's going to be fun. Again, it is that Saturday. You can count it as your last test of the week of the Just Show Up Cup. But it's really cool that we got a big group. Yeah, about 7 members. I know there's another few that said they're doing it. They didn't know that there's a group. So cool beans. Cool beans. Yikes. What's that mean? Hey, we got someone in the chat. Let's go. And we got 5 live viewers. Hey. I feel like that's a PR for me on the morning show. All right. So, again, that's all the updates here. All the good stuff. Getting ready for this month. And, again, just going over. Actually, you know what? I want to do a quick troll of Hill or Fit. I did see this. This just kind of was on my mind. Going back to, the whole standards thing. Right? So, we all know the whole high rocks problem and, movement standards. Actually, I would think it would be cool to do a high rocks once in a while. I'm not fully hating on it, but this is a guy that does high rocks. Apparently, he's the New York Times dope that wrote about high rocks and all this stuff. So he's clearly doing CrossFit, and he's actually pretty good at it, right? But he's not doing anything the standard with his muscle ups and his thrusters, and his movement efficiency is very poor. No arch and hollow, really shitty front rack position, shitty overhead position. I probably, if he was taking my class, I wouldn't make him do those. But obviously, he's one of those people where Like, yo, you're trying to do CrossFit, great, and I love it. And I love that you're expanding your horizons with the methodology. But go, if you want to experiment with it, go find an affiliate and go find CrossFit coaches who know how to give you these progressions and get there. I will say a squat depth was pretty good, but the upright torso, the elbows need a little bit of work. And so that just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know why it bugs me, this whole notion of like just people like skipping steps, right? If you want to do a workout, this is an ass kicking of a workout, by the way. 15 ring muscle up, 15 thruster, 45 toes to bar, 45 thruster. I don't know. I think it's just like learn from those who know how to get you there with the right steps and the right progressions and the right intensities to get so. But hey, good for you, man. Hopefully you write something good about CrossFit. Just you need some clarity about how to lock a muscle up there. Who knows? Maybe he's got some tricep shit. Cool. Trolling. All right. Quick commercial break, and we're going to break down the MFP workouts. 3, 2, 1. What's the hardest part of CrossFit? Just showing up. Just show up, Cup. Coming soon. So get consistent. Get into a flow. Let's make it happen. Find a teammate. Find a friend. Be awkward. Hey, will you be my partner? Ask him out on a date for a week. Just a week. And by the end of the week, man, you guys will love each other. Alrighty. Just recapping last week, right? So I really like that Monday workout, especially with the shorter intervals. We've been doing like that 3 to 6 minute time frames. And so that stimulus of going like 1 on, 30 off, you just realize that 30 seconds really is not a lot of rest, but it's just enough to keep you guys at that speed, efficiency, and that intensity that we're looking for. And what was helpful was that it was unilateral. So we just kept alternating sides every time. I feel like everybody with the classes, with getting that message across, like, you're going to have to move quicker than you think. I mean, the step ups and the snatches, you got to get those done within like 40 to 45 seconds to even get L-sit. So the idea was getting the L-sit and making it a really difficult 10 to 15 second hold, whether it's straight legs, or some progression that allows you to feel like you're really getting the midline working. So I thought that worked out really well. I was happy with that flow. I think some people maybe had to scale it down in terms of reps, and it was definitely a good learning tool. Again, most of these are kind of like learning stimuluses of like teaching you like, oh wow, like I'm not moving as fast as I need to get this done. Like I got to learn how to work on my efficiency of the kettlebell snatch, right? We're not just pacing this. This is a fast lockout, push it right through the hips. Yes, we were using that funny cue of smacking the gooch or smack the taint or whatever, but that honestly is a really important cue to like get the kettlebell in the right positions to be efficient to using your hips, your hamstrings, your glutes, to stay cycling and to save energy, right? That's all about movement efficiency, saving energy to do more work. And the same thing with the step up, right? Getting your footwork, getting your foot placement, getting the foot stomp. I thought all those worked super well. And again, everyone did a good job from the classes, at least I was working with, jumping higher than you would normally jump. Right? When we do these skill sessions and quality work, yes, you're not attached to the clock, so it's a good opportunity to do something a little out of your comfort zone in terms of your skill development, your mobility work with the Cossacks. So yeah, that was a good flow. I really enjoyed how that worked. And going into the next day, I thought that was I'm not like all for loving this workout in terms of how I got it, the program and the flow, but I think we got the right stimulus in terms of the lower body fatigue. I think Monday was a little bit more upper body, hips, low back. So you did get a little bit of that, but again, we're working with the squat progressions. I think everyone is still figuring out how to do the barbell cycling, getting these touch and go reps. Like we went light the week before with the snatches. Now we're going a little heavier to moderate, going to 7 touch and go reps. The bar hops are pretty sneaky tough. Like, everyone's like, oh, 35 just hopping over the bar, or even if it's just like a line on the floor. Like when you do that rebounding effect and you pull those knees up just a little bit to get over the bar, it's a very intense spike of the heart rate. So when I was thinking about how long of resting, I figured it was going to be anywhere from like 45 seconds to a minute of work, get about a minute and a half of rest. So we want to definitely rest longer than you work with this one, so that way we can maintain the unbroken reps, the high intensity or quick rebounding of the bar hops. So yeah, I thought that was a good appropriate rest. It kind of was just the right amount. So I think everyone got around like 6 rounds. That was the idea. Get around 6 rounds. And that's going to be like our magic number of like rounds that we do on Tuesday with our work. Sumo deadlift. You'll see a lot of sumo deadlift progressions during the fall. We'll see it coming up on this Friday. But that was just more for like at the end of your workout, not super, super heavy, but again, good controlled tempo. So compared to the previous Monday, it's funny because everyone really did a good job of finishing this workout on time and getting the right stimulus. And that's because when it comes to like rowing and carrying and scaling the progression of the burpee pull-up, no matter what your level is, like they're all going to be around the same times. Like everyone, even if you're scaling everyone's going to scale the farmer carry and get that done around the same time. It's not like the week before where we were doing like burpee box jump overs and wall ball lunge, that there's such a wide range of everybody finishing and able to continue that work throughout the workout, where it's like it's a little bit easier to pick up the dumbbells and go. It's easy just to hop on a rower, scale your time or scale your calories and just chug away at it. And just get down and up and scale your progression of going into your burpee pull-up. So I think this made everybody feel a lot better about themselves compared to the wall ball lunge and burpee box jump over, because we were getting the right stimulus of finishing that workout. So yeah, everyone did a great job with that. I think that was intentional to give you guys something a little bit more achievable, but just kind of be mindful of that, right? Just like know that, I'll throw something like that wall ball lunge or burpee box jump over, and then give you guys something that, again, give you a better idea of like where your gears are and what movements give you better opportunity to push yourself. And don't forget, like when we do hamstring work or our hamstring exercises, especially like the single leg progressions we did on the rower, which are actually super tough. Those are super valuable. I know we do like a lot of knee extension stuff, a lot of the front of the body. So you got to definitely work knee flexion, which is where you pull your heel into your hip, and developing the hamstrings isometrically, individually, because that is really good for your longevity, your knee health. And it's a great way to actually stabilize your glutes and your hips for any pelvic floor stability and midline stability. The single arm work and the scap push-up is just really for shoulder health, a little midline maintenance. So yeah, I was really happy with last Wednesday. I think everyone got a really good stimulus of that. It wasn't like the most difficult workout metabolically, but it was just enough to give you guys a good push. Brought back the coiling last Thursday, and you will definitely see coiling progress throughout the year in different ways. Maybe not during the Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, but definitely on Thursdays we'll see some coiling, getting into the body weight movements like the scorpion unders, the duck walks, and again, not the sexiest stuff that people get into, but you learn something about like your body awareness, your movement quality when you start incorporating those weird types of movements. And I've always just become super fond of those and found they've been great for like just injury prevention, prehab, just overall midline control. And then we got a lot of pressing last week, and that was intentional. Like I wanted to get that push press wall walk combo, the jumping, the sled pull in between. We were talking about with Brendan just about this idea of like, if it was up to you guys probably would have just loaded the sled heavy and just dragged it. But again, this whole idea of variance for you guys and understanding, don't be attached to this like one way of doing something. I wanted you guys to go light and fast with the sled, especially with dragging. It's a little awkward, right? It's a back pedal. So that does improve, your body awareness, your coordination. But it is great for like the knee extension, the front of the knee, and just gives a completely different feel to that workout where it taxes you, but not enough where you feel like you need to rest more than like a minute to 2 minutes. And I also changed that distance. I actually changed the reps of this whole workout. As you see, I wanted to make it 4 push press, 4 wall walk, 12 of the jump, 300 on the sled. So yeah, you guys notice like I'll do the workouts. I'll repeat them in my head a handful of times. And I think it was a good adjustment to go to 4. I also like how like you guys probably don't even know how to like, what's a good 4 rep weight for me. Right. And then you see like, I don't program percentages and things like that. And that's really important. Like I'd rather have you guys learn more about yourselves in developing through the workouts of like, what's this good range of weights for me? And so that way you can, again, take that with you as you guys go through this longevity process of your CrossFit journey. Yeah, and I also I'll make you guys do it with tempo, with good control, like build that awareness, build that stability. And also the part I wanted to mention on that is just like, because it's, it's a capacity workout, there's skilled workout too. You have the rounds, you're going to get like 6 rounds, let's say. So you can learn as you go, right? If you're not sure if you need to warm up or if you need a little bit more time to get the joints fluid, I like how I made the stimulus for you guys of like, hey, you can build up as you go. You can learn more about yourself as you go. Maybe you're fatiguing more. Maybe you're warming up more. I need to put more on, take more off. So again, that's very intentional for you all. Alrighty. And then Saturday was pretty brutal. Again, like I said last week, like this qualifier workout was programmed for people doing the Rogue Invitational, which is a big competition in Scotland coming up at the end of this month for the elite CrossFit Games athletes. And so for some people that wanted to compete with those athletes, they did a qualifier, and this workout had a 20-minute cap. It was a barbell overhead squat, crazy heavy. And they none of the elite qualifier people finished. I think it should have just been a 20-minute AMRAP for them. But it was cool to see if you could even get the 5 rounds within a 30-minute cap, just scaling it and just having like a good, endurance-based workout that's teaching you guys how to maybe try to figure out like, can I hold a round per 6 minutes? Because that's what you would need to finish. So I like having workouts like that where you maybe if you want to think or you think you can finish, like you got to learn how to strategize, have set management, break things up if you have that mental motivation to try to finish that. And again, the overhead squats, the kettlebells, I will definitely come back to at some point. It's probably one of the most difficult exercises to do in terms of mobility demands. But, we cheated a little bit, used a slant board to get you guys in a really good position. So, yeah, Saturday was I'm still probably feeling it a little bit from Saturday. But it was all good. We had a good group Saturday. The big classes. All right, and then lastly, just giving you guys a preview for this week. Maybe some of you already did today. Again, this whole idea of like, this was a very transition-based workout, right? You got the dumbbells right in front of your bench. You pop on the bench, pop on the floor, get to the rings. Can you get to the rings with like a minute? I just like this volume, that we're doing in terms of like 12 minutes total of work. but you have like a decent amount of volume. So being smart with your scaling of the dumbbells is important to stay unbroken. Again, learning about yourself, getting a little bit more ring pulling. We haven't done some sort of pulling progressions strict or isolated within the past week. So I wanted to bring back some pulling work for you guys today. And the part B isn't really super challenging. I think it's just a nice way to get some mobility in the low back, hips, get a little single leg work, and get some more practice on the rings. Again, I just love the rings. We get so attached to the bar sometimes, but you have that variation of changing your grip position from, pronated to neutral, playing around with different stability work on the ring planks. And it's come back to some L work. I haven't done L pull-ups in a while. Yeah, snatching Tuesday. This will be fun. So we're going 9 rounds. It's only 9 minutes, but the 3 and 3. I'm motivated from that, or inspired by the Gretel and Gretel and Isabel versions of the 3 and 3. It was like 3 clean and jerk or 3 snatches and the 3 burpees over the bar. So very quick 1 minute rounds, trying to get like 2 or 3 rounds per 1 minute. 1 minute on, 1 minute off. So again, this is going to be short, spicy. Stay light, stay moving on the barbell. We'll get primed up before that. This one's going to be tough too, Wednesday. And again, these are like really short workouts this week. And I didn't want to go too high up because Friday and Saturday are going to be a little bit longer. Again, take advantage of the midline work to start. Quadruped bird dog, sneaky tough. But the part B is there's no set rest, right? So like you're going to have to take that 10-second transition off the bike, onto the kettlebells, off the kettlebells, onto the bike to keep yourself moving. This is just for reps, right? So, we can get caught in the fact of like, oh, I got a minute, I can dog it. But can you maybe see what your capacity is like of quick transitions, stay moving, going light? We'll talk about the kettlebell shoulder to overhead standard of keeping the knuckles below the chin so you're actually getting full range of motion. And the burpee over the block, you guys have noticed we're getting different variations of burpees every single week. We did burpee pull-up, we did burpee box jump over, burpee to a target. So not getting attached to, or burpee over the sandbag, not getting attached to like just doing the burpee. There's so many other ways we can explore doing burpees. I know they quote unquote suck, but just getting these different stimuluses. Plate footwork is back on Thursday. Super important for longevity, fast twitch development. And just a fun thing to do. We got a lot of midline stuff. We'll be practicing some of those kickouts again just to get the body flowing, some mobility work in the spine. And then Friday, I got to test this one out beforehand. I'm not sure if we'll go all 10 sets. I'll be doing it at 4 a.m. and I'll have my evaluation on this, but it's definitely going to be a tough 2-minute interval. These jumping wall balls, heavy, a little potentiation, moderate weight sumo deadlift, chin up. So we got, lower body push, dynamic, lower body pull, upper body pull. So double pull work, which is intentional with the chin up, palm up grip. So we're going to get some strict pulling again. And then getting spicy into this 3 rounds for time. So this whole flow was motivated from when we did the Service Cup week. So I'm like, we should probably bring back a similar stimulus of workout flow just to keep that theme. The 3 rounds for time, most people are probably going to have to scale the reps down maybe like to 15 and 15 to stay unbroken. And maybe just scaling your pull-up progressions is something that keeps you flowing. So, I'm looking forward to the Friday. It's definitely going to be spicy. And Saturday, I just felt like doing a 40-minute flow. I think, especially after Friday and getting ready for some of our weekend workouts during the fall, just getting more of like a long endurance paced, more of that oxidative energy pathway where we're getting different spikes of the heart rate, obviously, like through the step ups or the pressing, but can you, really come back to maintaining a level heart rate going back to the run? And obviously, we haven't done a lot of running lately, so especially as it gets colder. But should be a nice week. Should be fun. Should be good. Alrighty. Well, it's going to be a fun week of workouts. Again, all this will be progressing into the end of the month as we get closer to the Just Show Up Cup, as we get closer to our favorite holiday, Halloween season. Maybe we'll do I don't know how I feel. Probably won't do a costume workout this year. Everybody gets so weird about it. When you got a bunch of boo-boo people who are like, I don't want to get a costume, working out. Some people are all in. Maybe we'll just say, do whatever the heck you want and fuck it, right? Who knows? Well, hope you guys have fun. I'm going to tune out here. Morning show is over. So, our Just Show Up podcast, we are back this week, Thursday. We're going to do a 1:30 show. Works best for Joe and I. So if you want to tune in live to the Just Show Up podcast, we're going to talk about CrossFit addiction, CrossFit commonality, and have a good topic to talk about. So anyway, thanks for tuning in live.